Greetings and welcome to a new era of wellness. This is the Life Force Movement, I would say podcast or educational series, however you want to call it. The company that I represent is Life Force Management USA. And, I do have a few episodes or few videos on this channel already, but I wanted to reorganize and really present the content and the things that I'm passionate about and what I do as a quote unquote wellness company to the public and make sure that it's really speaking to the things that I feel like I'm an expert in, or at least extremely knowledgeable. I don't think we never reach expert status. I'm humble enough to say that, but I'm a neophyte in everything. But there's certain things I do pride myself in knowing and having the ability to communicate that to the public. But this is something that we're doing to build a community. So I'm super excited about that. And in building that community, I'm going to expose you guys some of the things you probably have already heard of and some of the things you probably have not when it comes to wellness and your overall optimum living. And that's what this channel is for. It's not for a specific person or for a specific type of whether it's an athlete or professional or anything like that. It is for people, it's a community that are looking to find out unique ways and practical ways of improving their overall well-being. Now, I'm excited because first and foremost, I'm a technology guy. The space that I work in the corporate space has always been in technology for the last 15 to 20 years. So one of the things that I decided to do is pull the technology and match it up with all these ancient methodologies and ancient wisdom that our ancestors left that sometimes, I would say in the last 30 or 40 years, it was probably considered as pseudoscience, but now we have things to support what our ancestors talk about and how we can measure those things in a scientific way. So this is what I'm excited about. So I hope you guys are excited as well, and I hope that you'll find value in this information. And so, let's begin. So when we talk about wellness and the architect of human design, and I use that term because I feel that I'm more than just a wellness coach or a health coach. I'm a master architect of human design, understanding how the body, the three or four main components of the human experience works. That's the mind, that's the body, that's the mental, the mental aspect and the emotional aspect. And you can add the spiritual aspect, but I always like to be respectful of people's faith and what they believe in. So we're going to say a supreme intelligence that guides all of us. So, but there's a connection. And I want you guys to think of this space here at Life Force Management USA or the Life Force Movement Podcast as a safe space when you begin to learn maybe a little bit more about ancient medicine and ancient modalities and how, and the modern technology that I'm presenting to you guys and how they all, interweave and intersect and work together. Now, when you guys hear the name Life Force Management USA, they either nod like, oh yeah, finally someone gets it, or they stare at me, when I told people the name of my company, thinking like, okay, what does that actually mean? And honestly, I would say both reactions are valid, because we understand the life force or energy, vitality or ki or prana, whatever name that you resonate with, is at the core of everything that we experience as humans. Your emotions, your thoughts, your cravings, your physical symptoms, the way that you're motivated, they're all influenced by your energetic patterns. But most of us were never taught how to actually manage our life force. We're taught to manage time. We're taught to manage people. We're taught to manage money. We're taught to manage our emotions. And sometimes we're even taught to manage other people's expectations and their emotions as well. But in our inner world, not so much. And one of the things that I'm excited about this journey and why I'm starting here is because what I want you to get from this is that every time you turn on an episode of Life Force Management USA, you're going to first understand probably some deeper things about the science behind whether it's mindfulness or frequency or whatever. You want to understand why you feel the way you do physically, emotionally, mentally, and energetically. And then you're going to understand how we can make you more aware of those things in a very simple way. We have tools like the inner voice scan, the mind sync, which is a great affirmation tool. We have things like the Visera, mobile scan or the galvanic hand cradle. And all these technologies are incredible. But what I love most is that they don't replace your intuition. They support it. They give you information that your body has been trying to communicate all these weeks, months, and years. So we're also going to talk about in this scope of what I do is how emotions trigger food cravings, how food affects your mood, and the difference between detoxing and cleansing, what science really says about mindfulness. We're going to do a deep dive in the principles of traditional Chinese medicine, which I'm a big component of, and I would say it's probably the foundation of what I do. And why I love using it. We're going to understand deeper on how breath work can instantly shift your focus and start to shift your paradigm, and how frequency works on a cellular level. And basically, this season of episodes that I'm releasing is a roadmap to transforming your wellness journey from confusing, frustrating to intuitive, grounded, and effective and more aware. And you're not wasting money on unneeded supplements, money on things that you're trying to guess what foods to eat, and so on and so forth. So, why does technology matter to modern wellness? And be honest, the world demands a lot of us, and we're overstimulated, we're overworked, and a lot of times we become overwhelmed. We feel disconnected, and I use the term emotionally dehydrated. And this is why technology can be such a powerful ally. Tools like the inner voice scan and the galvanic hand cradle can help you understand what's going on under the surface, the patterns, the blind spots that you don't see, and the stress responses and how your body's responding long before they show up as physical symptoms. And imagine having a wellness dashboard for your body that you can actually look at. And imagine catching, imbalances early instead of waiting on them to have a really profound impact on your body. Imagine knowing which affirmation tools, which foods or practices will support you most today. This is why I'm so passionate about this and bringing these conversations to you, because in the world that we live in, we have so much thrown at us, and sometimes the simple things are the better things. And the term that I always use, ancient, wisdom meets modern science. And while technology, yes, it is a powerful tool, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. You'll also hear me talk a lot about, like I just mentioned earlier, traditional Chinese medicine, because even though the tools are really, really great and high tech, and it's modern, and the principles make them effective and timeless, energy flow, balance, emotional harmony, organ systems, all these things work and they're interconnected. And it's really an intelligent network that we have. And these ancient frameworks that our ancestors knew, they helped us understand on what our technology is measuring now and why it matters. So that's the most important thing. So would I say it's a new way to approach wellness? Yeah, probably so. I think, a lot of people sometimes felt like you're doing all the right things and you're not seeing the results. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to start, and if you ever wish someone would just help you, I would say the best way I can say is understand what your body is really saying, then these episodes are going to be great for you, because your body is talking and your energy is talking, your emotions are talking, and you have just never been made aware or given the tools to translate what that language actually is. And this is where the tools that I'm using, and that we'll talk about, and it's going to really shine light on who you are and why you do what you do, from all the different, emotions, frequency, energetic, all, physically, why you're doing what you're doing, and all those aspects of your being. So, we're going to talk about one of the things I'm really, one of the upcoming episodes, how your emotions shape your physical experience. And you don't want to really miss that, because these things will start to resonate you, because I'm putting these episodes together and a lot of the content will overlap, but each episode will have a little bit more in depth of where the other episode kind of left off. So you'll see it's just a compounding or a domino effect of how these episodes are stacking up on each other, but the information is going to be constant. So I welcome you guys to this experience, the Life Force Movement experience. And I hope that you guys really find value of the episodes to come. And I really look forward to engaging and communicating with you guys and kind of let you know what I do, and what my passion is. And I hope I bring value to your life. And we'll go from there. Again, this is Shante Finley with the Life Force Movement experience. Life Force Management USA is our company. And as I always say, speak your life, protect your greatness. I'm sorry, develop your greatness, and protect your peace at all costs. I am Tay Finley. And as we say at Life Force Management USA, the key is the key. Thank you.